Right. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Wakar Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akwa, when I say Shalom. And this is a sit down lesson of the earthquakes in diverse places as of October the 9th, 2025, on this Thursday afternoon. And this is from volcanodiscovery.com as of October 9th, 2025 by Earthquake Monitor. And it says a significant 6.0 earthquake, 6.0 quake hits near the Alzur Mazaviki, Kamchatka, Russia, if I pronounced that right. And it says just 19 minutes ago, a 6.0 earthquake struck near the Alzur Kamchatka, Russia. The tremor was recorded early on. It says early morning on Friday, October 10th, 2025, at 1:28 a.m. local time at the it says a moderately shallow depth of 57.1 kilometers below the surface. It says the event was filled by the United States Geological Survey, the first Marshall Survey agencies to report it. Monitoring service identified the second report from Italy, National Institute of Geophysics, a volcanology, the INGV, which lists the quake at a 6.3. Other agencies reported the same quake in the European semi-century as a 5.3. France National Surveillance Century at a 5.3, and the Citizen Technology Network Raspberry Shake at magnitude 5.5, and the German Research Century from Geoscience GLC at a magnitude 5.5. Based on the preliminary segment data, the quake was probably felt by many people in the area of the epicenter. It says, felt by many people in the area of the epicenter. It should have not caused significant damage other than objects falling from shells and broken windows, etc. It says the Arzazam POP 2600 is located 119 kilometers from the epicenter. Was a quake should have felt as a light shaking. It says a weak shaking might have been felt in the valley shake up 25 200 right 25 200 located 146 kilometers from the epicenter, and the Paratuk about 1,800 149 kilometers away. The volcano discovery will automatically update magnitudes and depths if these change will follow up if other significant news about the quake become available. If you are in your area, please send us your. Oh, that's something else. So it was a 6.0 earthquake over in Russian area. And this is from the latest of earthquake.usgs.gov. And then you had a 2.6 earthquake, 57 kilometers of White City, New Mexico. 2.5 earthquake was recorded 22 kilometers north of northeast Uringtown, Nevada. 3.1 earthquake recorded 12 kilometers west of Station, Texas. 4.5 earthquake recorded 135 kilometers east of Azerbaijan, Russia. Then you had a 2.5 earthquake, 35 kilometers east to southeast of Maligar, New Mexico. 5.4 earthquake recorded in southwest of Africa. Then you had a 5.2 earthquake in southwest Africa. Then a 2.6 earthquake in 53 kilometers east of northeast of Petro Bay, Alaska. Then you had a 6.0 earthquake 119 kilometers east of Azerbaijan, Russia. 5.2 earthquake recorded south of the Kermadec Islands. 2.5 earthquake recorded 1 kilometer east and northeast of Mary Antonia, Puerto Rico. 2.6 earthquake recorded 5 miles west of Raleigh, California. 2.6 earthquake recorded 7 kilometers south of Johnnecock, Puerto Rico. Then you had a 3.7 earthquake 4 kilometers west and southwest of Houston, Alaska. Then you had a 3.4 earthquake 84 kilometers in Calibra, Puerto Rico. Then you had a 2.7 earthquake 10 kilometers west and northwest of Callao, Hawaii. 3.4 earthquake recorded 85 kilometers east and northeast of Cruz Bay, U.S. Virgin Islands. 2.6 earthquake recorded 53 kilometers east to southeast of Chinookinik of Alaska, if I pronounced that right. Then you had a 5.5 earthquake 210 kilometers north of Dalian, China. 4.0, right, that was the latest earthquakes as of October the 9th, 2025 on this Thursday afternoon. And this is the book of Luke 21 and verse 11. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall be from heaven. And this is the Gospel of Luke 21 verse 11, who you call Jesus Christ, which is Yahushua in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. He spoke about these events was going to occur, especially with the uptick of earthquakes in diverse places. That's what we're seeing. So I'm bring out some more news articles, because you had some, I think some news articles over there in South Carolina or something like that. And this is a news article from WLTV.com from local news. It says from October 12th through the 18th, earthquake preparedness week in South Carolina. It says so far in 2025, more than a dozens of low magnitude earthquakes has been recorded in South Carolina. Yeah, because I remember that, because you had I believe it was like last month, you had swarms of earthquakes over there in the outskirts of South Carolina. They had it was a larger one from like 3.5 or 3.7, and then they had heavy aftershocks of it as well too, because I remember that last month. It says Columbia of South Carolina. It says Governor Henry McMaster has proclaimed October 12th through the 18th of 2025 as Earthquake Preparedness Week in South Carolina. It says South Carolina Emergencies Management Division and members of the state emergency response teams are encouraging residents to use the week to learn more about the state Semitic fault. Right, kind of similar to over there in Southern California. Because over there in the San Andreas area, as they're getting closer and closer to a potential larger earthquake over in that area as well too. Keep that in mind. It says weeks to learn about the state Semitic fault system to take steps to prepare for potential earthquakes. It says a key event during the week in a great Southwest shakeout regional earthquake safety drill scheduled for Thursday, October 16th at 10:16 a.m. and more than 1.8 million people across 8 states and Washington, D.C. are expected to participate. The shakeout is a part of an international campaign teaches participants to stay safe during an earthquake by practicing 3 simple steps: drop, cover, and hold on. Drop to hold your hands and knees, cover your heads and neck, and take shelter under a store, table, or desk. Hold on until the shaking stops. But yeah, in these different areas, so we're gonna, expect to see more earthquakes in diverse places. See if I can and go right back to it. Yep. since I mentioned that, right, this is a news article from The Guardian. It says, this is from the West Coast. Yep, it says from the West Coast, the U.S. West Coast fault. It says the U.S. coast fault could trigger a catastrophic back-to-back earthquake, study finds. Right, especially the southern part of California. As I mentioned before, it says that the study shows a high magnitude tremor in the northwest could set off in California, causing an unraveled disaster. Warnings about looming threat of a big one catastrophic earthquake could devastate cities, especially like the upper northwest, like Seattle, Portland, outside of Oregon, and throughout that whole region, and like the northern California and southern California as well too. It says have stroke fears across the U.S. West Coast for decades, but according to a new study, a high magnitude earthquake in the Pacific Northwest could set off a secondary one on California's San Andreas Fault, causing a unraveled catastrophe. It says the big one could have potentially to wreak havoc up down the coast at one research said. It says that we could expect an earthquake and one of the fault lines alone could draw down the resources of the whole country to respond to it. He said, Dr. Chris Goldfinger, it says a marine geologist and geophysicist, if they both went off together, they could got a potential San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, all in the emergency situation in a compressed time frame. It says the Cascadia subduction zone, which can produce a magnitude of 9 earthquakes on its own. Wow, that's heavy. Potentially, that's heavy. It says a triggering tremblings and San Andreas fault lines in the past. According to the study, which was published on September 29th, it says that Goldfinger says of findings came after decades of a head scratching and a lot of data that was difficult to explain. Drilling into the deep sea sediment cores that contains thousands of years of geological history and research combining all the layers left from ancient earthquakes that through the submarine landslide deposits that from San Andreas quakes, but they were upside down from what typically sees. Goldfinger says, we realized that it wasn't a singular deposit through it added, it was two. Yep, so look at that. Yep, so once again, this is the book of Luke. It's the book of Luke 21 and verse 11. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. Right, so we're going to see an increase in great earthquakes in diverse places, increasingly on a daily basis, and famines and pestilence, and fruitful sites and great sand shall be heavy. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of this earthquakes in diverse places as of October the 9th, 2025 on this Thursday afternoon. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Korkadash, and the Heavenly Father, which you names Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Ba'ashem, and then Mashiach Kabashai. Those are their true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Lashwakash tongue, and I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim Wa'akwaf. Until next time, I would say Shalom.